There's so many things in this world that can make you frown. Undercooked meat, getting a porta potty tipped over on you while you're inside, just to name a couple. I want to give you something that can make you smile. One of those public nuisance streamers whose whole existence revolves around making everyone's lives around them worse as their content has just been arrested. 2023 has actually been a pretty solid year for streamers everyone hates getting thrown in the slammer, finally facing some real repercussions for their awful behavior and unbelievable cringe, such as the streamer Johnny Somali, who is still currently in jail in Japan right now, God bless. Now, I haven't seen a follow-up to the individual we're going to talk about right now, so I'm going to delve into fantasy like it's the fucking Magic Treehouse here. In my little headcanon fanfic, he is currently sitting in his prison cell blubbering his little eyes out like a bitch. And this clip actually makes me extremely happy. It reminds me that Christmas is right around the corner because it gets me in a joyful spirit. And just as old Saint Nicholas taught us, it's better to give than to receive. So I wanted to give you all the gift of a big ear-to-ear grin as we watch this insufferable asshole get arrested, but also what led up to it.
Hey, listen up. You look so cute and you look so delectable. I want to put you on a plate and just eat you up. How about that? What's your name, baby? I know you're sorry. You're sorry you can't get with a hunk like me. You're sorry you're stuck with a cuck that you fucking cheat on. You record videos of you sucking off other guys and he wants to see that shit. Correct me if I'm wrong.
This guy's voice sounds like someone doing an impression of a Redditor. He's got that quintessential nasally loser voice, and clearly he knows he's not actually going to end up getting this girl's number or anything like that. He's being as abrasive as possible because it's content for his stream to entertain them by just going up and harassing women as much as possible. Admittedly, this guy is also self-aware enough to recognize that he is a creep, but instead of doing anything to fix that and better himself, he's more than happy to lean into it as much as possible to become the ultimate creep. He has adopted it as his only personality trait, being a loveless, sexless loser, and tries to make a career out of it. He is actually striving to be a professional dumpster for everyone in the chat to spit in and laugh at. It is pathetic. Dude's out here more dripless than I am, by the way. He's out here rocking a yellow t-shirt, bright yellow, looking like Curious George's friend, the man in the yellow jacket. Goober's also got some of the worst posture I've ever seen in public. He's more hunched over than that iconic photo of Goatman in the forest. So I already know when he's not out in public harassing people for his stream, he's inside on the computer doom-scrolling the internet, rotting and withering away. Now, of course, I'm not usually one to criticize posture, because sometimes when I'm streaming, I get fucking hunched over and right up against the monitor too. But at least when I'm out in public, I'm self-aware enough to recognize that you gotta straighten that shit up.
And that happens regularly, right? Tell me I'm right on the money or not. Tell me, okay, listen up, baby. I'm so sorry. You know, I really tried. God damn you. Damn, her booty's so small. Fuck.
It's so cute how he also has a friend with him that's doing the same thing, but from a distance, kind of whispering it to stream, just insulting the girl for the audience. What an unbelievable power couple of fucking douchebags.
I don't want to bother you guys, I'm not trying to be creepy in any way, but can I get like one of your numbers and I'll be on the way and then we can meet up?
We're actually going to go meet our boyfriends right now. So.
Oh, so I can't take you out or do anything like that?
Yes, really quick, just stop right now.
Sorry.
Doesn't matter what you want. Do you want?
We're just, here's what we're wondering.
I'm sorry.
You're just so fucking hot.
That second encounter right there is nightmarish. This girl's walking on the street alone. Two weirdos come up to her and say, "It doesn't matter what you want." And you can see her facial expression drop, just completely sink into a panic mode. I have no doubt she expected to be attacked by them or something, and you can see she picked up the pace. Because who wouldn't? That's a fucking weird thing to have happen. That's frightening. And especially from these two guys who are just walking around, camera out, coming up to you in the middle of the night. Like, what the fuck? This whole shtick sucks. It's just going up and bothering people who are just going about their night. Just randomly coming up to women. Hey, pardon me, toots. Unsucked penis is a disease and I'm suffering from it. Are you the cure? You should be. It's fucking dumb. And it's a lot worse than that. It's worse than just going up and doing cringy lines. It's sticking around, bothering people, and in this case, scaring a woman who's walking home alone.
Want to be my girlfriend for 5 minutes? Do you want to just go on a little date?
We're gonna walk for a bit.
Okay.
Just a pinky.
Okay.
Pinky?
So you can hold my hand.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So,
Hey, I'm here with my girlfriend. I'm here with my girl. Can you guys just shut the fuck up? I'm here with my girlfriend.
Okay,
Just shut the
don't
fuck
scare
up.
people.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm here with my girlfriend. You're making too much noise. Get the fuck out of here, asshole! Fucking prick. I'm so sorry,
Okay,
Luna.
no,
I'm
this
so
is dumb.
Please, no, I was just protecting you.
No,
I was
I don't
protecting
want
you,
that,
baby.
no.
Please.
Ha ha, you get it? The joke is he's just pretending to be an unhinged lunatic. I don't know why you couldn't understand the gut-busting comedy of that. I'm gonna toss a quick fun fact your way, so get ready to receive it. About a month ago, I made a video going over shitty streamers like this guy and his friend, and I'm almost 100% certain that this is the same guy that ran away when someone he was harassing finally took him up on the offer to fight. He was the guy that instigated a conflict, and then the guy he was doing it to said, alright, let's just settle it right now. And immediately this guy bolted off. I'm being very generous with that term. Bolted in the same way that an alcoholic zombie would stumble across the street, because this guy is not athletic at all. But he ran away as quickly as his goofy little legs could take him, and then had this brief come-to-Jesus moment where he recognized just how sad and pathetic he is. Just this impressive specimen of trash.
All right, you, me, Central Park, tomorrow. Don't be late, motherfucker.
All right. I hope he doesn't chase me because I don't want to fight him. Am I a pussy beta? Perhaps. But I don't know.
Using all the latest and greatest in technology and summoning the world's leading forensic experts to analyze the footage here, I think we can all conclude with a high level of confidence that this guy and the guy that I've been showing you who's about to get arrested here on stream are the same person. There's just no way that this world is forsaken enough to allow two people that sound, look, and act like him and stream like him to exist at the same time. I just don't believe that. It's the same person. I'm pretty sure of it.
You love it.
You know that there's like a...
Excuse me, what's going on? What's going on? Relax. Put your hands behind your back.
Hands on your back.
What's going on?
You're being placed under arrest.
For what?
I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah. You just want to talk to you, you want to run. All right, now we're going to put you on your side.
So they're arresting Carl, guys. Carl did nothing wrong.
Ah, yes, the good ending. Tugs on your heartstrings. It's a beautiful thing to witness. You love to see that. I can't imagine a more fitting conclusion here. I don't know why his buddy's saying he did nothing wrong. He immediately tried to run from the cops who were about to start talking to him. You can't do that. Like, what the fuck? I imagine they got called there for a disturbance, like, hey, there's this weirdo and his weirdo friend that keep harassing everyone nearby, so the cops are coming to tell him to, like, cut that shit out. And then Chief Goofball here immediately tries to run. Well, it's not really a run. This guy and run don't really go in the same sentence. He takes, like, two fee-fi-fo-fum steps that kind of resemble, like, speedier movement, and the cops are like, nah, putting the kibosh on this, and they just tackle him, they take him down, and then stand him back up. So, again, I don't know what the update is. I don't know if he's still in custody or what, or if there's any charges. I couldn't tell you. It just makes me happy to see that. It's just a big ol' asshole getting taken off the streets there. So, I thought that might put a smile on some of your faces. That's about it. So, yep. If you grew up during the 90s or the early 2000s, there's an extremely high chance that you watched some of Dan Schneider's shows. It was like impossible to avoid him. It'd be like trying to dodge raindrops during a thunderstorm. Dan Schneider during this period was the king of children's television programs. He made some of the most influential productions like Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, iCarly. His resume is just stacked with tons of shows that I imagine meant a lot to many of you growing up. And make no mistake, you meant a lot to the creator of these shows as well. Well, not so much you, but your feet certainly did. The creator of these shows is a monstrous foot fetishist, Dan Get in the Van Schneider. He is a vile, creepy, disgusting human being, and this has been known for years. However, a new docuseries just dropped really diving into this subject matter and putting a spotlight on it in a way that hasn't previously been explored. It's called Quiet on Set. Now, if you don't know what Dan looks like, here's a nice picture of him here. He looks like he was made in the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator. And Dan Schneider has become the face of Quiet on Set. However, it actually explores more than that. It's like a whole deep look at all of the horrible things that were going on during these Nickelodeon productions. It's more than just Dan, but he obviously plays a central role here because he made these shows. He was the head honcho of most of this, and he was well aware of some of these terrible and downright criminal things that were going on behind the scenes on some of these shows. And the reason I mention the foot fetishism off rip here is because that was one of the first things that people really caught on to in the public eye. After Dan's glory days at Nickelodeon, people started to pick up on how odd it was that a lot of these children's shows had an emphasis on feet. Pretty frequently, it was a common thread throughout a lot of these shows, like feet humor and having these child actors and actresses displaying their feet. And in 2013, one of the shows Dan worked on, Sam and Cat, actually ran a competition where kids were supposed to submit pictures of their feet to them. Like, that's weird. No matter how you spin it, that's a really weird thing to request from your audience of children, to take pictures of their feet for you. That's just downright creepy and wrong. I can't believe that tweet is still up, by the way, over a decade later, and no one thought to delete that. That is impressive. But anyway, people started to pick up on Dan's fixation with stompers, and it seemed like his fetish was bleeding into his work, and he was having the children unknowingly participate in it by having them display their feet. That's what it seemed to a lot of people, so it was obviously very concerning, so people did more and more digging. They found more and more evidence of Dan being an awful piece of shit behind the scenes with a lot of shady things going on there, and it just led to this reputation that people for years have known that Dan blows loads to toes Schneider is not a good person. And now Quiet on the Set has released, and so much information has come out, not just about Dan, but about that entire Nickelodeon workplace around these child stars. Arguably the largest piece of new information that dropped during this docuseries was the sexual abuse of Drake Bell by someone named Brian Peck. So Brian Peck was a coach at Nickelodeon whom was sexually abusing Drake Bell, and he was actually convicted in 2004. He spent 16 months in the slammer, and then immediately upon release, landed a job with Disney. If that doesn't show just how rotten to the core this industry is, I don't know what will. There is deep-seated evil in Hollywood. He went to jail for lewd acts with a minor. He is a sex offender, a convicted sex offender, and he immediately got a Disney Channel job working on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. What the fuck? That's mind-bogglingly evil. Like that's not just irresponsible, that's malicious. It's not like they just made some kind of mistake where they put a sex offender in a role where he works almost exclusively with children. It's not like they made a whoopsie-daisy, they just happened to overlook that he's a sex offender. They knew. They would have to know, and they still hired him for that role regardless. That's scary. That's terrifying. They're actively enabling a fucking sex offender to potentially prey on more children. Drake also described that when he went into court, Brian Peck had the support of some very powerful and familiar faces. There were 41 character letters written to the judge asking for leniency for Brian Peck. 41 letters of support from industry personnel that were trying to get a lighter sentence for Brian Peck, even knowing that he is guilty of the crimes for which he is about to face the punishment, asking for a more generous sentence. These weren't just 41 pieces of toilet paper with nonsensical scribblings on it from nobodies. These were 41 character letters that were submitted by industry personnel, some of whom were high up on the food chain, so these things carried weight, and they're advocating for someone who is guilty of sexually abusing a child. Holy shit. They just viewed it as not a big deal, I guess. Listen, Judge, I understand Brian Peck diddled a child. Who at Nickelodeon hasn't? Are you really gonna throw him away or put him away and throw away the key for that? What about season 3 of Drake and Josh? What actually matters here? Let's think about that. This is crazy to me. It almost stops being surprising learning that Brian Peck landed a job at Disney right after his 16 months in prison for this crime, because it seems like that entire industry just does not give a fuck about the safety of kids to begin with. So like I said, Quiet on Set isn't just about Dan Schneider and all of the awful things that he has done. It's about how awful that entire industry itself is. But once again, Dan Schneider does still play a large role in this docuseries, highlighting the bad workplace and environment that he would cultivate, the weird shit that would go on in like the writer's room and the way he'd treat some people, just a whole plethora of different bad stuff. And in response to all of this, Dan Schneider himself actually stepped out from the shadows, leaving his little gopher's hidey hole and addressing it head on in one of the most painfully scripted and staged apology video interviews I've ever seen.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay.
The interview is not conducted by a professional. It's conducted by a former actor in one of Dan Schneider's shows, and he is not equipped to handle something like this. This is the biggest load of baloney. Like, this is just some straight up fucking malarkey. There is no pushback from Boogie on anything in this interview at all. It's just strategic softballs designed to give Dan Schneider some kind of sympathetic PR win here, where he comes out of this looking better, where he comes out of this like not the bad guy. It's so deplorable that they'd even try something like this with a straight face. I think it is extremely transparent what this is, and I'm happy to say pretty much everyone saw straight through this. This did not give Dan Schneider the dunk I think he was expecting it to. This did not make him look any better in the public's eye. It actually just made it look even more sinister that he was able to, it seems, pre-prepare this interview to mitigate the potential fallout from the docuseries airing.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses.
It starts with what's supposed to be this moment of taking accountability. Dan Schneider's just point blank apologizing and, holding himself accountable for the sins of the past type vibe. Except he's really not. Like, these aren't things that you just, hand wave away with, a simple apology. A lot of what was reported is, unforgivable bad shit. There's really no way of apologizing for the things that Dan Schneider has done and also been accused of. So it's just, it feels so fucking insincere. And Dan Schneider got away with it, and it seems will continue to get away with it. So he loses nothing by doing something like this, which just makes it frustrating to see him parade around pretending like he cares now all of a sudden. It's extremely easy for him to just be like, oh yeah, that was bad. I feel bad for that. Oh, what a regret. Yep, not good. It's just, I would have liked if the interviewer was someone that would legitimately dive into a lot of these things and actually press him on a lot of these things. This interview never even addresses the things that people want to hear from Dan on, such as the sexualization of the children in those shows. Even outside of all the foot stuff, Dan included some very inappropriate things in his programs, such as Ariana Grande milking a potato, and then another scene with her getting splashed with water and shit. All of it was very unacceptable and seems to sexualize the child actors and actresses in his productions. And that was never even brought up in this interview. So this interview it doesn't have any real substance to it. It is legitimately just a scripted PR play from Dan.
I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense.
This was him addressing a question that Boogie asked about inappropriate jokes in there without getting too deep into the weeds, just a broad subject of some of these jokes have aged poorly and people look at them as inappropriate for a child audience. How do you respond? The most softball way of asking this question, mind you. And his response was, cut it. Just get rid of it. I don't want it in the show. If it's aged bad and it makes people uncomfortable or, this and that, cut it. And Boogie's like patting him on the back for it, like, oh my goodness, wow. That's so benevolent. What a great solution. Yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck? It's so easy for him to say that now, but it doesn't take away the fact that you filmed it. If you cut Ariana Grande milking a potato type shit, if you cut some of the foot stuff that you included in there, it doesn't change the fact that you still had the child actors and actresses doing that shit and were sexualizing them. It still happened. That's still bad. Cutting it from the final product doesn't erase what you did. It's so frustrating that there's no pushback on any of this in the interview. He just gets to let him say his piece and then get applause for it. It's so stupid.
And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was and asking for leniency, and they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. But Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, would you help me with my speech for the judge? And I said, of course, and I did.
Dan Schneider's fishing for the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award for the best fake crying. It feels super forced and super insincere. Him tearing up while talking about this story. This is him talking about the Drake and Brian Peck case, where he mentions 41 people wrote those letters and it baffled him. And then Drake's mom actually asked him to help her write her piece, which he did. And that leads me to a question of, if you knew all this, why didn't you back up Drake Bell? The way it's described, Brian Peck had all of these people in his corner, but Drake really only had his mom and his brother. Why weren't you more involved then? I imagine that could have been extraordinarily helpful. But regardless, this interview doesn't do anything to change my perception of Dan Schneider, or anyone else's, really, I imagine, because it's still nothing. This isn't really an interview. It's just a PR piece disguised as an interview. It's just more despicable garbage here. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Again, the docuseries is called Quiet on Set. It's out now. And just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Hey, how are you? Are you having a good day? I hope so. And I hope you won't be mad at me if I try and change that real quick. I want to put a very yucky TikTok creep on your radar. And it's someone I'm sure some of you have heard of over the last year or so. He's become a bit of an infamous boogeyman that a lot of people have talked about. Most notably, Oompaville made a whole video on him, kind of breaking down all of the awful, degenerate shit he's done. He was actually quite popular. He had over 1 million followers on there. His initial account was called Snapshot Eye. He then had to make other ones in lieu of a lot of allegations that came out and a lot of information that went public. His real name is Paul Breach, which is fitting, because he keeps breaching the restraining order parents have against them to protect the safety of their children online. I'm only kidding about that. I don't know if there's any actual restraining orders against him. Even if there were, it would mean nothing to him. You can't teach the breach. He's going to continue to flirt and act inappropriately with underage kids on TikTok. It's all he knows, damn it. So, Paul Breach is an alleged predator, but a confirmed creep. And I'm not here to just go over all of the allegations. There's quite a few videos that cover them extraordinarily well. The reason I'm talking about him is he's blowing up yet again thanks to a clip of his that just went viral. This is during one of his nightmarish TikTok lives.
Oh, there's a plane crash in Tanzania. Oh, blimey. Into the lake.
So he gets this tragic news and immediately goes right back into lip syncing and shit. Now keep in mind, this man is in his 40s. Now, I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that. You can look at him and immediately deduce this isn't exactly a teenage boy here doing this cringe-ass lip-sync shit. Terrorists have infiltrated a local Burger King. Oh, jeez. And they're slitting the throat of the hostages. Jinkies. Hey, prayers to the families. And I'm sure after just seeing this, you're probably not surprised to learn that he's got a very foul past. So, he's no spring chicken. He's in his 40s here, and he constantly engages inappropriately with young girls in his audience, and it's something he's come under heavy scrutiny for a long time. He's actually somewhat of a pseudo-celebrity in the UK, where people sometimes have gone out of their way to find him and make fun of him directly to his face. Sometimes there's even like in the wild spottings like Bigfoot where they'll start filming him and then go up and start insulting him. And it's become something of a beloved pastime over the last year. It died down once he kind of fell off, but now that this clip is blowing up again, I've seen that his channel on TikTok, at least the one I believe is still his, is getting quite a bit more traction from it. Even though this isn't necessarily the newest clip, it is a very silly and surprising one that a lot of people have had their curiosity piqued by, so went out of their way to find more from him. Thus, Paul Breach, the cockroach, continues to somewhat thrive. His whole shtick is posting thirst traps, even though if you're thirsty, this isn't gonna quench it. What he's doing is just gonna be putting sand in your mouth and making it worse, like giving you the fucking cinnamon challenge. What he posts is the opposite of a thirst trap. It is alarming. He is way too old to be doing this garbage. And I don't mean to be mean and rude, but he's not exactly a 10 out of 10 looking gentleman here. It's also worth mentioning, this kind of thing isn't uncommon for his streams, though it is probably his most preposterous moment ever recorded. To go from horrible news right back into his god-awful thirst trapping.
Oh, bless you, love. Bless you. Love.
I just wanted to show you another clip of how unhinged his TikTok lives are. So sometimes he'll just play sound effects to give the impression that there's other people around him, always women. This one, I don't even understand what the thought process was. I think he sat on a whoopee cushion to make a fart noise, as if it was like a girl over there farting, and he's like, oh goodness, hey now, that butthole's not meant to be usable, it's just supposed to be aesthetic for me. Girls shouldn't be fucking farting. Despicable. And then he plays a very clearly stock sneeze sound effect and then goes even further, love? And then like gets like angry about it, it seems.
Fucking hell. Jacob, thanks for the follow. So much. That is a fucking cracking impression of me, love. How you do that?
It's actually one of the saddest goddamn things imaginable. To be so fucking lonely that you have to fake interaction around you on a TikTok live stream where people go there mainly to make fun of you, because by this point he had already become kind of like a TikTok spittoon for people to stop in and spit a loogie into. But like I mentioned, unfortunately there were a few young fans that would reach out to him, and he would always reciprocate being flirtatious. He even got called out on this pretty often, way before like he had to take his account down. I think he got banned. I don't think he took it down. But there were always people taking notice of like, Paul, why do you always just reply to like these really young girls?
Why do you only talk to girls in the comments? Because it's only the girls that are commenting, and if it's a comment from a guy, I say hi. I don't know. Maybe because I'm dating them all and we're having babies. Only to the ones I'm married to, which is all of them.
Who could have imagined that the 40-something-year-old man making thirst traps aimed at children would turn out to be a real weirdo? I can't believe it. It's always the ones you least expect, am I right? I'd also like to show you another one of his clips that's somewhat blowing up right now. This is apparently one that he sent directly to a fan, and it is so uncomfortable to watch.
Lainey, smile. That is an order. And then jump in a cold bath. Get yourself smiling, get yourself happy. I've been a moody little, for a little while, and that is just stupid on my behalf. So I apologise if anything I've ever done has brought you in a low mood. I know I was idiot at the start of the week, and I've taken steps to fix that. But you need to smile, you need to be happy. You've got a beautiful smile. Please use it, perhaps.
His brain just blue screens there for a moment. Windows had to have a hard reset there. He had his own little Mitch McConnell moment during this message that he sent to one of his fans.
It's always nice to get a message from you, sweet. And it's always lovely to see that smile.
What an uplifting video. I know you're sad, but have you tried not being sad and just smiling? Because I'm ordering you to. In fact, you don't have a choice. Smile. And you will feel better, because it'll make me feel better. And you should be happy when I'm happy. Damn it. I don't know. Everything about this guy is really weird. So, since he is blown up recently, I just wanted to at least make people aware of who he is and his past. Because he's not exactly just some, like, goofy guy. He's an unhinged, weird guy with a lot of serious accusations against them. And I've only just begun to scratch the surface of how awful a lot of the things he's being accused of are. And a lot of them he's never denied or anything at all, really. He just buries his head and pushes forward doing more lip syncing and bad dancing. And people have confronted him directly, and he still never really denies any of it. It's hard to explain, and the whole point of this video was just to let you all know Paul Breach sucks. That's about it. See ya. Hey, it's that magical time again where we get to point, laugh, and shoot spitballs at a creepy degenerate being weird to a woman. So I hope you've done all of your smile exercises, because we're gonna be putting a big ol' grin on that face and having a hoot and a holler at this guy's expense.
So, crazy, silly question, but I'm just curious. I know you don't like coffee, and I know you don't, and I know you eat cereal in the evening.
Yeah.
And I know you have a son, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're about early 30s.
So Goober approaches this woman who's on the leg press machine, and he immediately just starts listing off things he knows about her, which just sounds like some stalker shit. Like, it sounds like a mission out of Hitman, where Agent 47's being given a dossier and going over his target's interests and, like, where they might be so they can plan out the assassination. This is just, like, such a creepy, cold open here. I know I'm reading way too deep into this situation and it's starting to get dangerously delusional, but for some reason when I first saw this clip, it immediately reminded me of a climactic moment in an action movie when the villain is monologuing to the hero like a fucking phone call. I know you don't like coffee. I know you're in your early 30s. I know the FBI is listening to this call right now. I know you have a son. His name is Mark. He attends Biff Gilmore High. Do this task for me. And all the agents listening to this, stay out of it. And nothing has to happen to Mark. It's just a really odd, peculiar play here. This is definitely not a play that John Madden would draw up. To just approach her and start listing off all the things you know about her, it's just weird. I'm assuming she and him have talked before, which is why he knows all this. They probably have, like, small talk. They're probably on friendly terms. I don't think he's been, like, perusing her Facebook trying to digest all of the lore that she publicly posts about herself there. But it's still weird to then come up and just start, like, spouting it all back to her about everything you know.
That's what I've learned so far. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think you're really cool. I know you have a son. I'll tell you, you know, straight up, like, I kind of sort of married, like, I kind of sort of like I am.
You know how everything has an opposite? Wet, dry, light, dark, matter, antimatter? This guy is anti-charisma. He is the exact opposite of Riz. Like, this dude legitimately has less game than someone that is asleep. He is stumbling through whatever he was cooking up in his noodle here, and it is extraordinarily uncomfortable to listen to. It's like the first draft of a book report where there's still a ton of typos and grammatical mistakes and nothing's making sense, it's all scatterbrained. That's what's happening through this whole exchange. And yet he still is able to squeak out that bombshell there that he's actually married while actively hitting on this woman. And you can see the shock and surprise on her face to learn that little nugget of information about this guy. If I had to speculate a guess, I would imagine he's been flirtatious in the past, which is why she's even more surprised by it. So he's just a big scumbag piece of shit here for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about you that's really cool. Like just casual, but I don't know if you would have a pizza with me sometime or something.
I'm pretty sure your wife is not a pretty.
Good golly, heavens to Betsy, this guy fucking sucks at talking to women. He is speaking to her like he is still in middle school. He just keeps repeating, I think you're cool, I think you're really cool. Like, I half expected him to just go even harder on that, like, I actually think you're epic. Do you want to come over and see my Fortnite, KD? and then we can grab a pizza. Like, there's nothing wrong with a pizza date. I want to be clear there. But it's just this combination of, you're so cool, let's get pizza. Like, that's what I imagine a 12-year-old thinks romance is like. You're cool, get pizza with me, I'll have my mom order Papa John's. Like, what the fuck? It sounds like he's about to bring up cooties. Like, I don't even care if you have cooties, it's okay. Like, he sounds like a fucking child talking to her through text messages. Like, circle yes if you like me, if you like me. Oh, it's so bad. Honestly, this might be inspirational for someone out there. It doesn't matter how awkward or uncomfortable you are, you could still find a partner. Somehow this guy has a wife. Somehow this complete fucking turbo loser has a wife. And now he's trying to cheat on her. So don't be like this guy, but at least let this be known that you don't have to be the most charismatic person out there or be the most socially adept at speaking to other people to find a partner. So maybe there's a little positive spin there. But anyway, back to spitting and shitting on this goofball. The lady here is being extremely sweet about this whole thing as opposed to just splashing the cold water on him and saying, get the fuck away from me. She is tiptoeing around this, probably because she doesn't want to make a scene out of it. Most women usually try and let someone down in a nice way, because if they don't, it could get dangerous. Like, there's no telling how unhinged this guy is. He's trying to fucking cheat on his wife and he's being brutally honest about it. He is a weirdo. So it's definitely the smart call to just be like, oh, I don't think your wife would approve of us getting pizza or going to play laser tag or whatever other childish fucking offer you were about to make. Like, her being nice about it is the optimal move, but it also keeps her wrapped up in this conversation, unfortunately. So I feel so fucking bad for her because he continues to press, and he's already interrupted her workout. So I imagine it's just this giant fucking headache, this huge annoyance because this uncomfortable miasma of cringe has approached her and won't leave. Like the storm just will not pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, glad you're up front, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Especially
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
married, then like,
Right, no. That's why I said
yeah.
that, I wanted to be, but, I won't say unfortunately, because, being married's good. But, sometimes you meet somebody that just, you have a
Bingo. Peekaboo, I see you. I was so curious what this guy looked like. I was freeze framing on every single goddamn pixel of this thing, trying to catch just a glimpse of him here to finally get this Bigfoot photo with him peeking in the top right there. I always get so curious in situations like this. What does the person look like who's conducting themselves this way? I know it's not important, but for me, a mystery like this sometimes just needs a little bit of closure. Anyway, he continues with his speech. I don't want to say unfortunately, because being married's great. I love it. But sometimes need something with a little bit more of a connection. A man like me can't be hunkered down to just one woman. You know what's better than one pussy? My wife's? Your pussy. That's 2 vaginas. Double the fun. What say you to that? Come get a pizza with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but like it's my connection wouldn't be your connection. I'm married.
Hopefully does lose faith in men and humanity, right? Like, it makes us scared women to like ever want to get married because we don't know
Oh,
if
for
they're
sure.
out at the gym doing that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
I mean, I don't blame you. I'm mad at you. At least you're honest, but like.
He's going into full car salesman pitch mode right now with the hard sell. My connection's your connection. Buy 2, get 2 free. Come on now. What are you waiting for? The deal's depreciating. Come on. It's, what are you doing? And she is doing her absolute best to be nice here. She is doing everything she can to be, like, sweet in this situation. To try and, like, just get through this as pain-free as possible so she can go back to working out, which is what she went there to do. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking rough. And the guy just keeps going.
No, for sure. Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't, have not told you, Up to this point, I just kind of said hi and let it off, and that's it. And I was, I was like, really, when you think about it, it's unfair even to, you also. So, what the hell? What's the point?
The way he just blabbers on and gets all jumbled up on each word reminds me of that viral meme of that kid who was doing a line reading but accidentally messed it up. Have you ever had a dream where you could, and you never want, but you could, and you never, but do it so bad? Like that is his entire statement to this woman here. Just a bunch of gobbledygook.
I mean, probably the best scenario is, and I'm not saying this would ever happen, but like seriously, if you knew my wife and you know what I mean, like we were all friends, that's different.
Yeah.
But and you actually would like her. She's very nice. Yeah. You'll probably meet her sometime. Actually, she hasn't been, but she does come sometimes. So when we're here and I see you, I'll introduce you.
That's where our adventure ends. And man, what a journey it was, huh? I don't know where to begin with that closing statement. If only you knew my wife and we were all friends, that's different. You'll probably meet my wife at some point. You'll fucking love her. I mean, she's great. You'll love her. In fact, my wife would actually love if I cheated on her with you, and that can happen after you meet her. You know, I'll just introduce you next time that she's here, and we can talk about how I was trying to cheat on her by taking you on dates. And I think we'll all have a good laugh about it. We'll all become great friends, and then it's all smooth sailing. Just a fucking weirdo, loser, degenerate creep. Pretty impressive one here. So, yep, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya. Good morning, and welcome back to Wacky Weirdo Hour. Boy howdy, do we have an action-packed lineup for you today. Get out your cup of coffee, enjoy your cereal. It's about to be a bit of a ride. Sometimes I'm asked, why do I do this to myself? Why do I dabble in the swamp of cringe? What's the purpose? What's there to gain from staring into the abyss and letting the abyss stare back into you? And the thing is, I unironically feel there's real value here in some lessons to be learned from the lunacy. Let's say there's people out there that haven't really experienced a lot socially in life, suckling mother's bosom, and has never really branched out from the nest to get their own wings and become the social butterfly that they are destined to be. Sometimes people might not recognize that the behavior they're exhibiting is not good and is bad, not productive, is not going to lead anywhere. So by going over some of these absolutely atrocious, downright painful exchanges in the dating scene or like romantic interest, I feel like it can serve as a scared straight kind of moment, like, behold, don't be this guy. And you're like, oh, I don't want to be that guy. What the fuck? He sucks. Okay. All right. I get it now. I know what not to do. Or maybe I'm just reading way too deep into all this. I'm not a fucking hero. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy here laughing at some goofy situations. Anyway, the story for today is one I got tagged in a lot last night when I was at a Lightning game. So I actually watched it unfold in real time and had a sneaking suspicion that by morning this would no longer exist. The poster would probably remove it because things went out of control. That shit went cattywampus. And I was right. The posts were deleted, but I saved them. I made sure to. I said, dag nabbit, you're not keeping this from me. You think you can hide cringe, brush it under the rug, and I won't find it? Nope, I'm lifting that rug up with a big old smile on my face. I'll say, thank you so much for this, yum yum yum, scrumptious. So I got the Library of Alexandria of Cringe, and let's just go ahead and explore. I had to censor so many handles that were tagged in this initial tweet here. It was like a fucking CIA document with all the redactions. But anyway, I've got it in working order. I don't want anyone harassed here, including the original poster or anything, obviously, but I do want to go over this. So they made a call-out post out of nowhere. I don't want to be too rude, but I genuinely can't understand how this goofball, and then he tags the guy, got a beautiful girl like, and then he tags the girl. He says the dorkiest shit, yet has a massive following. I just can't wrap my head around how any girl would go for that. I really commend his efforts not to be rude. I think he did a great job of tiptoeing around it and being polite while also getting to the point. Extraordinary manners, clearly. Excuse me, everybody, not to be rude, but fuck this guy. He's got a girl and I don't, and he's a dork and I'm a Chad. What's going on here, guys? What an injustice. He's not ugly, but Sabrina is objectively hot, where he's average at best. He spends all his time on Twitter, unlike someone who has a full-time job and a ton of money he could use to provide for a stunning woman like herself. Nah, screw not trying to be rude. He's a loser, to be honest. Oh, he was doing such a good job of not being rude too, and then the wheels just fall off. It goes tits up. He really goes off the rails. I like how he's like analyzing this now as if he's a researcher studying the phenomenon. He's average at best, but Sabrina is on like a totally different plane. Like this something's not adding up here. There's something foul afoot. And then he had the gall to criticize that guy for being on Twitter all the time. Meanwhile, Goober is on Twitter all the time making whiny posts like this, just having a temper tantrum, tears in the eyes, shaking his fist. Why is she not with me? I want her. He doesn't deserve it. I deserve it. And then here comes the stone cold stunner right on his soul. So the girl that he was talking about and loosely tagging in his tantrum catches wind of it and drops the DMs that he continues to send her. She goes, I know your ass ain't tweeting this like you ain't been in my DMs constantly begging me for a chance like a desperate loser and refusing to take no for an answer like a disgusting creep. And here's the receipts, Twitter. Thank you for the receipts. God bless. I'll speak on behalf of all of Twitter when I say it's much appreciated. So it begins with, would you ever want to meet up someday? I'd love to see a movie or take you to dinner. Whatever you'd like. To which she responds, I'm flattered, but for one I have a boyfriend and I don't think you even live near me. Oh, I like to travel, so it's not a problem, lol. And you're not married, right? There shouldn't be anything wrong with hanging out. No, but I don't feel like your intentions are platonic, so... She was right. She really sniffed that one out pretty quickly. You don't need to be, part of the Scooby-Doo mystery gang in order to crack this code here. She immediately deduced that this wasn't necessarily a friendship offer. This was him shooting his shot. But I love how he just immediately goes like, well, you're not married, so I mean, like... What's the harm? I don't see a ring on your finger. And he continues, No, I'm absolutely being platonic. My intention is just that I want a chance to prove that maybe I could a candidate as well. Like maybe you'd have more fun with me. Just to weigh your options, About to have me talking like a Sims character with that kind of cringe. Like, what do you mean? Weigh her options? Brother, you came out of nowhere in Twitter DMs. Why the fuck would she want to weigh options with you? Like, she's already in a relationship which she makes clear off rip and you still keep pressing. But you know what? Let's go even deeper here. We'll get into real fanfic levels of garbage and delusion. Let's assume she's in an open relationship and would actually, want other options, I suppose, in a partner. It's not gonna be you through Twitter DMs. That's just dangerous. No one's going to take you up on shit like this, especially not when you're coming out fucking guns blazing, fucking firing from the hip out of nowhere. And there's no possibility of that anyway in reality, because she actually shuts that down directly too. No, you're not, because you're still pushing something further even after knowing that I'm in a committed relationship with Blake, so there's no options. Learn how to take no for an answer. A lesson he absolutely refuses to learn. So he continues. I'm just confident in my abilities as a partner on all levels. I'm certain I can give you everything you desire, and perhaps better than he can. I apologize for persisting. You're just breathtaking, and I want you. I'm willing to fight for you at this point. To which she responds, there's no fighting for me, you don't know me, and you couldn't give me anything that her current partner doesn't. She lays into him. She lays down the brass tacks here. And basically he says, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them, because he refuses to accept anything she is saying and only continues to exist in this dimension in his brain that is disconnected from the reality here. But I will say, he has piqued my curiosity. I have to know what abilities he's so confident in here. Like, balloon animals? Like, he learned a magic trick from Chris Angel? Like, what abilities are we talking about? Because it's certainly not... like romantic abilities whatsoever. He's fucking cold calling like a telemarketer here through Twitter DMs. So he responds again saying, I had to give my 100%. For being truthful here, I don't think he deserves you. I see what he tweets and he's dorky as hell. You're hot and one of the kindest people I've ever seen on this app. What do you mean? Like, so I'm guessing he just like stalks her feed or something. He's like, he's making up this fantasy in his head where it's like, this is an angel and I should be with her, clearly. This guy's too dorky, too much of a dweeb, doesn't deserve that. It's so creepy. I have a good job and I'd be willing to let you crash with me at my place for as long as you'd want if you'd be willing to give me a chance someday. That's so generous. I mean, wow. He'd be willing to let her crash at his place? Wow. And they say chivalry is dead, huh? I don't even know why he's making that offer. I don't think that's something anyone would want to do. I don't know why he's making it sound like he'd be willing to make a sacrifice by letting her live with him when he's fucking obsessed with her. It's oh my god, it's so fucking weird. I'd take care of you, but you everything you want? Oh, buy you everything you want and give you anything you'd need. I haven't found any ladies in my area that share my same interests or honestly that are as beautiful as you are. I guess you just brought out my competitive side, lol. You absolute weenie. It's not a competition. And if dating was a competition, you're gonna stay losing with an attitude like this. I don't know why he's treating it like a game of Counter-Strike where if he just plays it properly, he'll go ahead and squeak out the W. She's already in a relationship. No matter what you do here through fucking Twitter DMs, it's not going to change that and she's not going to want to go with you. No matter how much you lecture her about why her current partner doesn't deserve her, which is an outrageously weird thing to do. You don't even know them to begin with. You are just someone that is stalking their fucking Twitter feeds, I guess. Like, this whole thing is super creepy. And he just doesn't see it. So she posts these DMs, and obviously a lot of people started dunking on him for it. And instead of trying to learn from it and understand why this isn't a good thing, he takes it as another opportunity to proclaim his love for this stranger. He says, "You have to be lying. Why is everyone acting like I'm crazy? Sabrina is drop dead, sexy. Block A or Blake, whatever the fuck, is not. He's painfully average and mediocre at best. As I said before, he ain't ugly, but compared to her, he might as well be. Sabrina's figure is what I'd call perfection. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm trying to make a simple point. Her hair is majestic, her face is gorgeous, and her body is literally to die for. Not to mention she's strong and takes what she wants. I admire that. And she doesn't want you, so admire that, and come to terms with it. She will never want you. No matter how many times you make Twitter posts about her, obsessing over her. It's scary. It's unhinged. Stop it. Like, I don't know how else to, like, put it in plain terms. But even with people putting it in the plainest terms for someone to understand, he still just thinks that, like, his intellect is above everyone else's and no one's understanding his point. So after all of this kind of blows up, he then starts sending her more DMs about it. He comes back around into the DMs saying he didn't mean to put her on the spot, to which she responds, "You did. Now Twitter sees the creep that you are." And he says, "I don't think of myself as a creep. I'm just being honest and straightforward." And she says, "No, you're a loser and a creep who doesn't understand the word no." She's right. It's very blunt, but it is correct. The way he is behaving here is not taking no for an answer and being very creepy. Again, they don't even know each other. And he has become this obsessive over this whole situation. Like, even so much as saying, like, he doesn't deserve you, it's me, this and that. And he doesn't recognize why that's creepy. And I know that's not exclusive to just him. It's very important to have self-awareness and self-reflection where you can separate yourself from a situation, take a step back, and see how things look. He needs to be able to have that ability. That's an ability he should be confident in, so he can recognize that the way he has conducted himself here is creepy. You are a creep in this exchange, and you need to grow from it to not be like this going forward. And he just keeps going. "I thought you'd appreciate my persistence. I thought wrong. You turned the app against me. I didn't get any engagement before that tweet. People really lined up to defend that dude. I didn't think he was that like, to be honest with you." It has nothing to do with the individual in this case. It just all has to do with you being creepy and people wanting to let you know that what you're doing is not okay. He's just not able to grasp the situation. And I also don't know why he would think this persistence would be appreciated. Again, you don't even know her. And being extremely persistent and annoying about shit is something nobody likes. Not even in a romantic partner, but in general, even as a friend. If you're just gonna keep, like, poking and pestering and, like, constantly prodding, no one's going to like that. She then explains to him again how what he's done is something nobody will appreciate, and he just ignores it and says, "Nobody on this app understands what my point even was that I was trying to make." What point? You're not making a point. You just keep saying how much you like her and find her boyfriend to be dorky and unworthy of her. What point are you talking about? There's not some, like, deeper underlying message that you're trying to get across that we're all too stupid to see. You're just being a weirdo for everyone to see publicly and throw tomatoes at. This is the last DM here that was shared. He says, "I treat women with the utmost respect, actually." That's the impression I got as well. Yeah, that's what I got when reading this too. To which he responds, "You don't when you can't accept the word no and objective women. Your loss, I guess." That's just a classic sign-off from, like, every single one of these meltdowns and bad romantic exchanges, somehow it always ends with the guy saying, "Your loss. I'm actually like the best dude ever. I'm like the chillest, nicest guy ever, and you just blew it with me, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. You'll be thinking about that every night trying to go to sleep. What a big loss for you." I don't know why that's so common amongst all of this, but it is very interesting to see it every single time. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this because I've been so fucking deep into these like weirdo romantic exchanges and all of that, so that's really about it. See ya. I think most people realize by now that privacy's dead. I don't want to sound like a tinfoil hat wearing Alex Jones troglodyte or anything, but it's no secret that there's constant surveillance in the world. I still remember the day the news broke that confirmed the NSA is quite literally always watching, whether it's through inactive webcams or whatever. And you can see it pretty much daily. Like if you're having a conversation with your friends talking about lawnmowers, like, "Hey, my lawnmower just broke. I'm really upset. That lawnmower was passed down by my grandfather and his grandfather before him. I really am going to miss that bad boy, the Perkins Gobblemaster 5000. You know, I just missed that lawnmower." And then you happen to go on your phone, your ads are going to be lawnmowers. That shit happens all the time to me where I'm just talking about something and then the ads mimic what I was talking about without me ever having typed it in. It's shit like that where constantly there's signs that you're most likely being looked at in some capacity. I swear to God, this conversation has a purpose beyond me just seeming like I'm having a manic episode here of like gang stalking or something. I'm not saying that we're all just guinea pigs in a universal simulation or something by alien overlords. The reason I'm talking about this is because I watched a video where a big story just came out where some Airbnb hosts were hiding hidden cameras in their houses that they were renting out in order to spy on the guests having sex and changing, so they'd take videos and photos without their consent and without their knowledge. And I wanted to share the video and just talk about it a little bit.
It's like a scene from a scary movie. But this really happened. This man on screen is setting up a hidden camera in his home, and not just one. This is the creepy voyeur, Christopher Rogers, convicted of using these spy cams disguised as smoke detectors to secretly record his guests in their most intimate moments.
I cut out the section where it showed some of the footage, but it was people either changing, getting naked, or taking a shower, something like that. He positioned multiple cameras across his house in order to capture these moments for his own sexual pleasure, and was recently arrested for it. And this is something I never even stopped to consider when it came to Airbnbs. I'm not a big traveler since I'm a pussy who's afraid of flying, but I did recently go to Texas and we stayed at an Airbnb, and the main thing I was concerned about was bed bugs. But now this really put the fear of God in me. Should I ever get another Airbnb, I'm gonna be going through that shit with a fine-tooth comb, be like Inspector Gadget, looking over every nook and cranny for any kind of like spy tech shit. And the hidden cameras they show here are pretty impressive. I would have no idea. Granted, I have a tiny little reptile brain, but I would have no inkling of suspicion when it came to these devices they show. It almost feels like an advertisement for these hidden cameras. They're so fucking impressive. Like, they actually seem like James Bond gadgets here, straight out of Q Laboratories.
Spy cameras you can buy online are disguised as practically everything these days. This electrical adapter has a tiny hidden lens you'd never notice. And this digital clock can record your every move. It can even transmit video live, allowing whoever's watching you to track your movements in real time.
I gotta say, this feels like a little bit of a Hollywood magic here. There's no way that digital alarm clock was live streaming that seamlessly with that high quality. I just don't fucking believe that. That'd be like a $50,000 camera or some shit. If you look at like courtroom footage from like court cam or something, they're transmitting in negative 240p at like 6 frames per minute. And you're telling me this digital alarm clock is better than all the security camera footage at these courthouses? I just don't believe it. I feel like that had to be like a little cheating there or something, but again, I could just be very naive when it comes to how advanced these hidden cameras are. Like shit, even my Sony A7, when I try and stream off, it gets blurry and a little choppy from time to time. That was extremely smooth. I felt like I was in the room watching her. Like, that shit is wild. But this is something that, again, I never even stopped to consider, but now that I know it's out there, seems like something some sick fucks would do.
It just looks like a modern digital clock.
25-year-old Isa Valdi was on vacation with friends at an apartment listed on Airbnb in Miami Beach when she says she spotted a hidden camera.
I turned around and I see a black cube that looked like a digital clock. And I'm like, there's no way. I open it up, there's a camera inside, I unplug it, and it's just like, wow, I was in shock.
Bro, this lady needs to be hired by a forensics analysis team. The ability to just sniff out something fishy with a digital alarm clock at an Airbnb is wacky. Like, good shit. Like, that is extremely impressive. Fucking Batman wouldn't be checking digital alarm clocks at a crime scene, let alone while just leisurely kicking back at an Airbnb. But she was able to, like, spot something wrong with the alarm clock and confirm that, yep, it was a hidden camera. So that's great to hear. Hopefully that person behind that is also going to jail for it. And this is something that I'm now always going to have in the back of my head anytime I'm staying at like an Airbnb or even hotels in general, because I also looked into it a bit. It's happened at hotels too, where a couple of weirdo staff members have placed hidden cameras in some hotel rooms. And it's not so much the fact that I'd be upset with them seeing my cock. It's more so the fact that I'd be upset with them seeing my flaccid cock. That's just so embarrassing. I really wouldn't wish that misery on even my worst enemy. Like, if you're gonna spy on me, at least spy on me when I'm, like, at my best. Like, when my wiener's performing admirably, instead of all sad and soft and shit.
And say they immediately became suspicious during the host's tour of the property.
He told us where we should view the sunrise and said, you know, be comfortable, you guys can look at it in the nude or in your pajamas, no one's around. That moment I thought, maybe we're getting recorded.
Sure enough, he says just a few hours into their stay, he discovered it.
It's a little AC adapter.
Yep, this exact device was in the wall.
Images recovered from the tiny camera show him changing in the room. He's now suing the cabin's owner, AJ Ali.
You know this guy's guilty just from him smiling in his mugshot here. This is the face of a man who's seen more dick than a urologist through his little hidden cameras throughout his Airbnb lodge. And he also sounds like the dumbest criminal of all time, like, hey, you wild and wacky college kids, come over here. If you guys want to be naked, all power to you. But why not be naked in this exact spot? If you look on the ground, I have some tape down there. Those are your marks. If you could stand there while naked and admiring the sunset, it's for optimal viewing. And also, please don't put any bags over by that desk over there. I need to keep that area completely clear for spiritual reasons. Don't put any bags over there. I don't want anything obstructing that table, and don't unplug that AC adapter no matter what you do. It powers the entire house. Hey, and now have fun out there. Like, he immediately just trips all kinds of red flags for this guy to eventually find where he's being spied on from, which has now led to this guy's arrest. And he's apparently been doing this for quite some time, considering they've recovered so many images from him.
He was arrested and charged with invasive visual recording after police say a laptop revealed more than 2,000 images taken inside the rental home, which was also listed on other property sites. He's pleaded not guilty.
This is a felony in the state of Texas.
The evidence is overwhelming.
Included in the images that we have on the computer are images of him setting up the camera in the room.
And that was something I immediately thought of. Maybe I've been watching too much Better Call Saul, but I was trying to think of how he could possibly plead not guilty and get away with this. And the only conclusion I could draw was if they tried to blame it on one of the guests. Like, no, that hidden camera is not mine. It doesn't belong to me. It must have been one of my wild guests that came in there and just used my place as some kind of sexual hot spot without my knowledge. You know, just treat it like a boogeyman, like, oh, some kind of cryptid must have broken in. A burglar came in and installed these hidden cameras across my house. It wasn't me that did it. Because it would be kind of hard to prove that the actual Airbnb owner was the one who installed them, because, I mean, I guess it could have been someone else. But the fact that this guy's such a fucking idiot that he recorded himself setting up the cameras makes it a pretty open and shut case, I would imagine. And just like that first guy who recorded himself setting it up too.
We'd just like to talk to you because...
He wasn't happy to see us.
Were you secretly filming people, sir?
He gets out of his truck and takes a swipe at my mic.
No, thank you. Have a good day. Bye. See y'all later. Have a good day.
He says all the accusations are false, calling them fake lawsuits, just looking for money.
When he revved up his truck engine, I really expected him to go full Dominic Toretto and just bust through his own gate and just storm up to his house and just hang out in there to avoid being interviewed. But yeah, to my surprise, he did get out of the car and try and slap the mic out of her hand. Didn't really offer too much of an explanation for his innocence or anything, but of course, you know, he didn't have his lawyer present, so it makes sense that he wouldn't give like the most intricate of defenses or anything. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this since I just got back from traveling, and now this is giving me a little more food for thought for the next time I travel. Just maybe I'll do a bit of a sweep through the area to see if there's any hidden cameras. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah. If I was to ever do a tier list of creepy guys on the internet, the guy I'm about to show you would be the undeniable, top tier, triple S, super smokin' style creep god. The individual you're about to see almost makes that guy that was sending pig carcasses to the coworker he loved seem sane. I know I've called one other person in a video the creepiest guy ever, but the man I'm about to show you today, I think is far more disturbed, so much so that I'm actually somewhat concerned for the safety of the people around him. I'm sure you've seen this video floating around right now because it's going viral, and for good reason. It is scary.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like, and I got there, and she saw me, and she immediately pulled away, and I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything, you know, I just wanted to play the song for her. You know, give her her own choice if she wanted to be with me.
Now, I'll quickly bring you up to speed on what's happening right now with the lore. So, the cops are there because the guy called them, I believe. So, he's a Kaioken times 10 weirdo. He called the cops because he wanted to report this girl's dad, a girl that he chased around while playing his music to try and win her love. And his music is downright horrifying. It sounds like 5 trash cans being violently slammed together while someone's getting murdered in an alleyway for the vocals. I have been so deep in this rabbit hole learning about this man. It's been like an episode of Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs just gathering all this information. I'm gonna play you just a quick snippet from one of his tracks.
Fire sprout to the moon to the top and grow! Elements coming together now! Whoa! Feel the rap!
The voice of an angel. I can't believe this plan didn't work. It's so romantic it sounds straight out of a Disney film. He also keeps saying he was giving her a choice to listen to his music and fall in love with him. Even though there's no choice here because he was stalking her and chasing her playing this over his fucking boombox, I guess. But anyway, she was so frightened that she ended up calling her dad, and her dad got in contact with him and said some mean things to him. So the guy then called the cops on the dad, hoping to like get him arrested or file something against him.
You know?
Does she know you?
Yeah, I worked with her there for like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never really got serious.
Okay.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car, and I was like, oh shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she pulled away from me, and so I chased her a little bit, just because, I don't know, women are crazy. Like, I felt like she like wanted me to chase her.
Do you not think chasing somebody's crazy?
Well, it's just like, I only went like a couple blocks down the street.
God, it's so sad that women can't appreciate a good, nice guy like this. Women are so weird. How can they not appreciate a complete psychopath chasing them around for a few blocks while blaring music that sounds like the soundtrack to a slaughterhouse?
Just saying, don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they obviously don't want to?
Well, I had my song playing, and I wanted to like her to hear it, maybe.
Well, apparently she didn't want to hear it, right? So what else happened? Let's get on with this.
His complete lack of remorse and disconnection from reality is startling. Oh no, it's not weird. Like, I'm not weird. Why are you trying to say that I'm the crazy one for chasing her? I had my song playing. Oh, did I forget to mention that? My song was playing, so now everything's justified. Like, I wanted her to hear it so she'd have a choice to fall in love with me, obviously.
Her father called me up, and he made some threats to me and to my life.
Okay.
And so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's going to stab me, like, but he's like cussing at me.
He said that, or he did say that?
He says, I'm going to do something to you. I swear I do something to you.
For chasing his daughter?
Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was like going down a couple streets. Like, that's like fun to women. Like, women like that. A little bit of excitement.
No, they don't.
Fucking unhinged logic. No, I wasn't chasing her. It was like minor stalking. You know, that's nothing. Women love to be stalked. Like, it's fun to them. It's exciting. God, what an absolute lunatic. So yeah, the dad calls, apparently made threats against him because I'm assuming his daughter called him in a panic, like, holy shit, this guy's coming after me, and I'm fucking horrified. So the dad is trying his best to, like, stop anything bad from happening, so I'm sure the dad in this, like, passionate moments like, leave her the fuck alone, or I'm gonna do something about it, I'll give you a knuckle sandwich, why I oughta. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. To try and protect his daughter, keep her safe, doing what he can from a distance. Like, get the fuck away from her, you creep.
Women don't like to be chased.
What about, like,
If I was a father, I'd probably tell you the same thing.
what about, like, BDSM porn, where women like to have rape fantasies?
Well, apparently this girl doesn't.
Well, who knows? Most women do like having rape fantasies.
It took us only about a minute for him to start mentioning rape after talking about stalking and, you know, downplaying how stalking's not a big deal. Immediately brings it to BDSM and rape fantasies. From fucking out of nowhere. Oh, you're gonna call me crazy for chasing her? Well, what about rape? You know, there's rape fantasies in porn, what about that, And then he has the gall, the chutzpah to say most women have a rape fantasy. It's blowing my mind here, this guy's thought process. Fucking crazy. I'm also 100% sure he's never had an actual conversation with a woman. When he mentioned at the beginning they were kind of talking, I imagine it's because they were coworkers, and she said, like, hi to him occasionally, or, like, while they were working, were like, hey, need to do this. And that, to him, was, like, meaningful interaction with a human female. This is, like, a scary individual. His brain immediately jumps to rape when confronted with his actions.
Okay. Do you think she does?
I don't know. But,
Apparently she don't.
well,
So what do you want us to do?
well, I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything
Do
to me.
you know his name?
I know his daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. Leave her alone.
A great suggestion from the officer here. Superb. Just get the fuck away from her. Leave her alone. Solves all the issues here. Case closed. Didn't even need Dr. Phil on this one to get to the bottom of it. The solution was obvious. Just get away from her.
Well, this is one song I made, and this was the final chance I was going to have.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is she needs to have her own free will, man. You not understand? I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you, stay away from her because he will hurt you probably.
She's being controlled by him.
For some reason, he's so delusional, he keeps thinking that she doesn't have her own authority to make her own choices, yet keeps saying she needs her own free will. She had her own free will by running away from you. By, like, being scared of you, running away, and then telling her dad that is her making choices to try and protect herself from you. Because you are the threat. You're the fucking danger that's knocking on her door, and she is responding with her own free will of getting the fuck away from you as fast and efficiently as possible. It's just such a scary thought process because in his mind, he's totally justified in everything that happens here, and it's all normal to him. And the fact that she's not in love with him right now, not in his arms, in his bed, is because her dad is forcing her to make choices to split the two apart. It's not her making those choices because he's perfect. The guy with his music, his mixtape that sounds like 5 fucking squirrels being blown to pieces, he thinks his music's the best and he's the best man in the world, so there's no way she is choosing on her own free will to not be with him. That is a dangerous thought process.
That's fine. That's fine. That's her choice, right? Free choice, free will.
I think she should go do porn.
Okay, you need to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
we're not doing anything. You need to leave.
I'm having a discussion on...
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
I actually appreciate how the officer handles this situation here. He's not giving this guy an inch. He is fighting him on every point he tries to make. Not that any of his points have any logical basis whatsoever or any sound reasoning, but I like that the officer's pushing back on everything, and he crosses a line when he says she should do porn. Where does that even come from? Like, everything this guy is saying is a giant red flag, and he needs legitimate help.
I was going to let her make her own choice after the song.
Well, she's made her choice.
And I just don't think she had a reasonable opportunity to make a choice, because I'm going to blow up, and I'm going to be a famous DJ, and I'm going to be
How old is she?
He still really believes that because she didn't finish listening to his song, she didn't have the right to say no. She didn't have reasonable basis for declining and rejecting him, I suppose. He believes he's gonna blow up and be a famous DJ or this and that, thus she's making a huge mistake and needs to reconsider the choice, and her dad's making her choose this. It's fucking terrifying.
Oh shit. You know what? Lindsay's dad, I hope you see this fucking video.
Now, just like in The Dark Knight, we have the Joker turning the camera on himself here, and we get to take a look at him. And he really still believes everything he's done is justified, and that the girl and her dad are the villains here.
You know what happens when women don't ever, come to terms with themselves? The bad shit happens. I don't know. Something the cops want to deny.
And this right here I think should be taken very seriously. This is not a mentally well person, and this comes across as an actual threat against the safety of both the girl and her father here. He's already shown that he has no problem stalking women, and I really think this needs to be looked at seriously to make sure that he's not in a position to do harm to anyone around him. It's just very concerning.
Me trying to get her to be straight. Something is wrong about that. I don't see why these traditional ass motherfuckers think they can speak shit whenever it's this woke, belligerent LGBT shit that has her right now. I just don't see it. I'm older than their fucking father. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, this rant's really going off the fucking rails. So apparently the girl isn't interested in men, and his plan was to make her interested in men by giving her his love as well as letting her listen to his songs. And when she still wasn't interested, she blames the dad. Like, the dad is the one that's made his daughter not like him, and then says that he is older than her dad. Like, it's so fucking wild. But it is all very concerning to listen to. I just wanted to share this because I do think this is the creepiest guy I've seen online so far. And I truly hope that everyone involved here is safe, and hopefully this guy gets the help that he very much needs. Anyway, that's about it. See ya.